What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. And today, I have lied. I realized that last week was my last normal regular season mock draft, right? 100% understandable, right? I realized after the wild card round, the majority of the draft is already now set. We have the first 18 picks already set, but now we have some extra picks set. We have another three. We have another 6 teams set. I believe we do. I believe we have up until 24 set, and actually the rest of the draft is pretty linear to where it doesn't seem like there's going to be too much variation. But the variations that were caused on wildcard weekend made a pretty big impact, and we're going to keep it a little bit interesting this draft. So if you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Also, I didn't want to give you guys another mock because PFF came out with one. There's some questions on it. It's a little bit better than last time, but every single mock's gonna have their own problems. But still, didn't want to continue to just roll on that train. I want to give you guys a little bit of fun content. It's Monday. You guys get mock Mondays now, so usually this will probably be a 7-round mock in the off season, but for right now, like a 7-round team mock, but not 7-round mock. But right now, let's do this. Starting off, first pick. We already know where this is going. Trevor Lawrence. Do I think he has the highest ceiling in the class? No. Do I think he has the highest floor in the class? That's a potential no. I think that he's the most pro-ready, possibly. But we've seen some big flashes from him against, obviously, Ohio State, against UNC last year, where he definitely didn't look comfortable. Now, we're going to give him some credit because he lost his top 3 weapons, I believe, along with 4 of his offensive linemen. Yes, the hair is garbage. We don't need to comment about that. There's just some big things that Trevor has brought up with questions, but also they have some valid answers. I mean, he brought a team that's pretty mediocre in Clemson all the way to, obviously, the Sugar Bowl. So, there's definitely some consideration given the fact that Justin Fields has almost a fully loaded roster behind him. Trevor Lawrence is pretty much carrying it on his back, so I can't really blame him too much. Jets, Jets. This is down to 2 picks to me, or 3, technically 3, but 2 position groups. You got tackle here. If you guys want to invest in Sam Darnold, which I'm going to be honest with y'all, why? There's only one reason you guys could ever draft Penei Sewell. If you think there is a better quarterback next year at this spot. I can only say that. You guys do not believe in Sam Darnold. You know why? Because you're going to have to pay him in, 2 years? Would you rather have a rookie contract and build your team? Or would you rather have Sam Darnold, who everybody's like, he still has so much potential? Yeah. He has so much potential to suck up some damn cap space. So, I mean, obviously, he might be able to flourish into a John Elway. You never know. But at the same time, are you going to pay him, $250 million? You're going to pay him, $10 million a year? Is he going to accept $10 million a year? Are other teams going to want to bid on that? There's a lot of questions there. So, unless you see a next-year quarterback like a Sam Howell developing into being better than Sam Darnold, and again, one of my subs brought this up. It's like everybody's saying, oh, they should keep Sam Darnold because he had a higher grade than anybody else. Dude, get off your ass. Just because he had a higher grade 3-4 years ago doesn't mean that he should be it's now. Who cares about what he was back then? It's what he is now. And obviously we saw that last game, and I think that might put the nail in his coffin. This means that it's down to Justin Fields and Zach Wilson to me. Because I don't know how good the next year's class is going to be. Obviously, Sam Howell's part of it. Ritter is going. Is his name Ritter? I'm bugging. Kid out of Oklahoma. Of course, I know his name every other time I speak about him, but this time, of course, I don't. But there's definitely some talented dudes in the next draft. But I don't know if there's going to be a surprising factor, which of course there probably will be. We saw Zach Wilson this year. We saw Joe Burrow last year. I think that the Jets are a little bit scared of going the boom or bust route. Zach Wilson has the highest floor, arguably, in the class. And to me, I watch him play, and you hear every analyst talk about him. It's like, I want to give a comp for him, but these names are just too good. Aaron Rodgers, this, that. It's like, guys, if that's what's coming to mind, have you ever thought, maybe we should start thinking, maybe he is that good? I'm pretty sure that Texas Tech doesn't play what Clemson plays, what Ohio State plays. Patrick Mahomes came out of Texas Tech, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be playing at the highest level of competition. Yes, probably much better than BYU. But I even watched him against Coastal Carolina, where Zach Wilson lost. He still was good. He was 2 yards away from tying or winning the game. So Honestly, for you guys who want Justin Fields to be at number 2, you guys could put him there. You guys can slot him there. I know that there's going to be a select. I mean, unless, of course, the Jets find a quarterback next year who they think that, oh, if we bring Penei Sewell in, we can drop in a full squad. Again, yes, you can come up with the head coaching / offensive coordinator issues with the Jets. But I'm going to be 100% honest. Sam Darnold should be able to at least look somewhat talented. And I'm telling you right now, he has not looked that way. Next, Jets. Fuck. We got the Dolphins. This is an easy pick for me. If Penei Sewell's not picked at 2, he's picked at 3. If Penei Sewell is picked at 2, we might be trading back with a team like the Panthers, who might want to be trading up for a Zach Wilson, or even a why am I bugging? A Justin Fields. So we are 100% going to be going Penei Sewell here. You know, this third pick is either going to be Penei Sewell or else it's going to be a quarterback. Maybe not by the Dolphins. I think that the idea of going a quarterback is starting to get out of my mind a little bit, just because, A, you're going to be getting the third best quarterback at this spot, right? Even if you get the second best quarterback, there is still, like, Tua is not supposed to even be playing, man. I mean, he looks scared, like chicken shit scared, and he's not going to lose you the game until you make him, like, try to throw long and stuff. And that seems like a huge red flag, right? However, the dude's probably scared shitless because he probably doesn't have his full mobility back. His poor hip is probably still healing. He's taking hits. His recovery is going to be even longer now. And you know what sucks is the fact that you kind of need your hips to like swing into a throw to put some extra velocity on it. I think that Tua can actually be that franchise guy. I think people are forgetting about the fact that the dude shouldn't have been walking at the draft and he was doing drills. That's how hard of a competitor he is. And he has a perfect mentor to be able to come in and replace him. They're just giving him experience. Let him heal up, and I think Penei Sewell is going to be a great option there. And if not, if Penei Sewell is gone at 2, I don't think it's time to pull the trigger on a quarterback yet. Josh Rosen looked like ass. Straight up ass. You know, Tua has an actual reason for not being an elite quarterback when he comes in. He literally can't, he wasn't even supposed to be damn walking or even like running this season. And now he's playing. This next pick is a pretty easy one. We're going to go Justin Fields here. Whether he steps in day 1 or is developmental, because apparently both Matt Ryan and Julio are on the trade block. We don't know if that's actually going to happen. This is going to be a perfect pick. Either you're going to get a boomer bust quarterback, which then you're going to be in the top 5 again, or else you're going to have Matt Ryan there to coach him up, and he has an even better chance at being amazing. Justin Fields on this squad is a really good option, especially with Calvin Ridley, a great separator, similar to Chris Olave in my mind. So I think this is going to be a perfect at-home spot for him. Obviously, the line could be a little bit better, but they're actually coming into their own pretty well. This is a draft. This is like a dream top 4 right here. I think this is just a perfect situation. And you guys could call me biased in that, but I think 100% I'm going to stick to it. And here we go. First change of the draft. Jamar Chase going at number 5. You know, as much as I like to say we need to get cornerback, which you do, and you need to get line, you do. I think that basically re-signing William Jackson maybe to a franchise tag, which of course if he sits out, then, I mean, he's a bitch. And then you'll be in the top 5 again and get another stud corner like I'm bugging on the dude's name, Derek Stingley. So, I mean, you know, worst case scenario, you're going to be in the top 5 and you're going to have Jamar Chase and Derek Stingley in back-to-back years. That's a pretty good haul if you guys don't get another one in the second round, because you guys need to get line ASAP. So, that kind of unfortunately leaves the Eagles here being like, shit, we got Micah Parsons on the board, but we all know, unless Howie is gone, Howie should be gone, Doug Peterson released today, Micah Parsons ain't going to be this pick. As much as it would be a great pick, he's not going to be the pick. And that's just like the Howie thing to do. Next place I would look is Devontae Smith, and I'm not comfortable with it. Unless you were magically able to free up so much cap space that you keep Travis Fulgham, this is not a good pick. That's just an idea of mine. Next, so I think that the number 2 priority is to get corner. And there are 2 great corners here. And looking at the teams who might take one, I mean, technically, the Lions could, okay, but I don't think so. I mean, we could definitely know this is going to be one, this is going to be one, and this might be one. So looking at that, we can't trade back past the Panthers. Oh, wait, you guys love/hate to see this. The Panthers are going to be trading up, all right? I do it every time. Panthers need to trade up for Micah Parsons. it's like the Eagles are looking to trade back. Mike Parsons is sitting there. You could talk about the Lions trying to move up for Devontae Smith, but I think that this is just kind of more of a dream draft for them. We're going to see what we can select and push through. Maybe in next year 4 we'll be able to get it through, and then I'm pretty sure that we were able to squeeze in a 5 here as well. And I mean, what you're actually not giving up that much. You're giving up a first and a third, and a next year 4 to be able to come up and select the best linebacker by a long shot in the draft, Micah Parsons. You're going to get your Luke Kuechly replacement. Yes, you need quarterback. 100% understand that. Apparently, you guys are looking at Dwayne Haskins. And, of course, I mean, Matt Rule could probably get him in line because Rule knows what to do, man. You have a really good coaching staff. Joe Brady is going to be gone, but honestly, I think that he could be replaceable. With Rule as your head coach, I think you're doing an amazing job. That was my favorite signing of the offseason. Hands down, I love Matt Rule to death. Michael Parsons, he loves his defensive dudes, man. Michael Parsons is going to be able to work. I mean, technically, you can have like your full gadget defense. I'm forgetting on the guys. I keep wanting to say Patrick Chung. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Kid who was drafted in like 2nd or 3rd round out of Illinois, safety, also linebacker hybrid. Really talented player. Him playing along Micah Parsons would be awesome. Micah could play anywhere on your defense. He will be the next new Luke Kuechly on the squad. To me, he is. I like him arguably more than Zach Wilson. Like, realistically, I probably like him at number 4. That's how good he is. If you watch him play, he is one talented-ass dude. To me, this pick for the Lions is just pretty obvious. It's Devontae Smith. If you bring back Kenny Golladay, that's the exact perfect situation for Devontae Smith to be at his potential peak. And Jalen Waddle, reason he's not going to be in there above Devontae Smith is, the Heisman. Yes, Heisman doesn't give you any little flashy superstar X Factor bullshit that you see in Madden. But he was able to do that without Jalen. Jalen looked better than Devontae when he was in, but Devontae showed that he could actually carry the team on his back. Mechie ain't as good as Devontae. And Jalen Waddle had people worried shitless about Devontae Smith as well as himself. Jalen Waddle's a stud. We're not going to try to discount him at all. But I 100% think that Devontae Smith is going to be a better fit as well. Now, of course, we could go for a slot wide receiver later on because I think Jalen kind of profiles more as a really talented slot because Danny Amendola is going to be gone. So we could honestly get more of a slot guy in like a Jalen Darden, a Daz Newsome later on, and get Devontae Smith as your perimeter guy with Kenny Golladay. That would be a dream come true. I think that's the perfect landing spot for him. And if Matt Stafford stays, which I hope he does, if they just retool a little bit, I think they could actually be pretty competitive in this division. You just need Aaron Rodgers to get injured, and then you could probably take the division. But Devontae Smith's perfect fit there. I've been saying it for a while now. I love Devontae Smith at this spot. Can't pass up on him because there are teams like the Giants that would probably be targeting a guy like that with, of course, Slayton on the outside. And then, of course, I mean, even the Chargers could be targeting him. There's a lot of teams that would want Devontae Smith, all right? So now the Eagles sitting here like, okay, you know what? We have Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley on the board. We got some extra picks as well because we need to retool our team. We need to get some more offensive weapons here. We need to get some more line. Our line's getting old. We got to get some more safeties too. All these needs right here, I'm going to say like these needs and up are all extremely valid reasons. Like right here, these are all huge needs. And of course we have like shit going on in the background because it's a college dorm. But of course, we need to be able to fix all this shit, starting with the cornerback core. All right, you need to make sure that you cannot be thrown on. And you invested so much money in Darius Slay, it is obvious that is what you guys are looking for, right? So right now I'm down to Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley. This is going to be a huge telltale factor tonight. If Patrick Surtain plays well, this is going to be the pick. However, I think Caleb Farley has a much higher ceiling, and he'd work really well with Darius Slay. This kid has the speed, he has the size, he has the press ability. He is an aggressive, monstrous eagle. To me, he's an eagle. We're going Caleb Farley here. And again, we can always get linebackers later on. Caleb Farley's going to be a great pick at this spot. Broncos might be looking at a quarterback like Trey Lance. I am so not biting on that, given the fact that literally their entire corner core is like aging and dying, except for like Ojemudia. And I'm not 100% confident that Ojemudia should be the only dude who will probably be remaining from being put 6 feet underground anytime soon. Of course, Bryce Callahan's pretty damn solid, but he's a slot corner. We're going to keep him there. Patrick Surtain's here. I don't think you can pass up on that. Caleb Farley is a better fit, but he's already gone. So I am 100% down to take Patrick Surtain, and having him in a Vic Fangio defense, that is just, it's good. It feels really, really good. And of course, there are going to be guys down the line. I'm just going to check this out right now. And they took, oh man, they updated the board. You already know my frustration with seeing all these dudes who are going back to school still on the board. I just wanted to see if, of course, Desmond Ridder was on the board, because you know me, I love the idea of Desmond Ridder to the Broncos, and that might be a first-round quarterback for the Broncos next year. I'm just saying. Patrick Surtain's just too good to pass up on. Cowboys, I think that this is an obvious one. I mean, it really hurts. It really hurts. I did this last week as well. It really hurts. But with the Niners sitting right there, I don't think that we can pass up on getting a cornerback, because they are going to be taking J.C. Horn. And I don't think that – it was such a big need with having 4 cornerbacks on contract here. You're going to have, your starting slot corner and 1 corner there. And with how we saw them get eaten up this year in the past game, we cannot give up on J.C. Horn. And even though it sounds like I'm lamenting it, J.C. Horn is the son of Joe Horn. He already has that bloodline, the NFL bloodline. And he is a scary-ass dude. I could see him actually potentially jumping Patrick Surtain if he tests better than Patrick Surtain. Like, he's a really talented corner here. These 3, this is a really good trio. Much better than last year's trio, even though C.J. Henderson is a really good player when he's not injured. I think that's just it's a great trio. I mean, there's potential boom or bust with Caleb Farley. You don't know if Patrick Surtain will even test that well. I think he'll test around 4.55, which might knock him down below J.C. Horn, who might test in the 4.4s. So we'll see how that goes. That's what's great about Combine time, and also why we'll be making mock drafts during that time, because people will be interested, and things will change. But, Giants, we're here next, and I'm going to be honest, I tried to see if there's like a trade possible with the Giants. It's not. For some reason, these guys are some stingy motherfuckers with their picks. I offered an entire draft for their 1 pick from the Niners. I was just like curious. They were like, nah, fuck you. So, unfortunately, that's going to be the way the situation goes. But this is an interesting pick, because you guys did bring this to my attention, as much as it's down to 2 picks for me right now. It's down to JOK and Rashad Bateman. You guys brought up to me that it is pretty much the, not Jalen Hurts. I don't know why I thought of Jalen Hurts in division, but Daniel Jones' last year, right? It's potentially his last year to be like, prove it or you suck. Because, of course, you're getting God, I mean, I've just seen Kadarius Toney, I'm saying it. It's a rough day, all right? We got freaking Jan term classes going on right now. It is a cluster. But we're looking at it, and they have Saquon Barkley coming back. And then you have Daniel Jones on pretty much coming up on his contract. I don't think the Giants think that he is going to be the guy, so I might be leaning more towards the linebacker spot. I know the offense needs some help, guys. I know. I hear y'all. I know. I need to do an updated Giants one as well, just to see how your contract situation is. So I'm right now down to a bigger target who gets separation, who has great hands like Rashad Bateman, or I'm down to JOK, who can play that linebacker. I mean, you don't need a slot corner, but he could play that linebacker / slot corner-ish role. To me, I think that he played a little too much slot corner for me to be comfortable with taking him this high. He's a really interesting project. I don't think the Giants feel comfortable working him into their scheme. We're going to be going Rashad Bateman here. A really interesting pick, because I'm not as high as Rashad Bateman as most people are. I'm going to be honest, I'm not. But Rashad Bateman, he brings the size. He's 6'1". He has some big size to him, 210, and he's going to be really good at separating. He's not going to be a dude who tests in the 4.2s or anything like that, but he's going to be able to get open. He's a footworking technician. People are comparing him. I mean, TDN, we don't really trust TDN that much, but their comp for him was Justin Jefferson. I don't see that. But, I mean, he has that potential, which is awesome. I think the Giants can take that, and then they can rebuild their defense later on, because it's a pretty deep edge class. Maybe it's very not top-heavy, but it is definitely deep enough. Like, we're looking down here at Patrick Jones. This is where it kind of, there's a little, I mean, Boogie Basham right here. This is where a drop-off happens. Like, all these guys, apart from Hamilcar Rashed, are really freaking talented. Again, I don't know anything about Hamilcar yet. Don't have the time to be researching him up right now. Niners, I mean, you fans are so annoying because you don't listen to the actual, like, things I say. You see Rashawn Slater and you're like, ugh, oh my god, he got a tackle. Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, you freaking chirpy bastards. Rashawn Slater, he is going to transition as a guard or a center in the NFL. He had over a 90 grade in pass blocking, over an 89 grade in run blocking, and he was going up against Chase Young for some of those games, allowed 5 pressures only in 1 year, which is pretty solid, given the fact that he's probably going to be blitzed a lot over in the Big Ten. They have some very good linebacker cores there as well. So, he's going to be able to transition as a guard or center to replace Richburg or whoever the fuck you want to replace at guard. And if you don't like what's happening at your right tackle spot, he can kick to right tackle. All right? Or if Trent Williams is like, nah, y'all can go kiss my ass, he can kick to left tackle. He's the most versatile lineman in the entire class. Enough with the girl BS. We are going Rashawn Slater, and he is going to transition as a guard or a center. You guys need it, okay? Jimmy G brought you to the Super Bowl 10 minutes away from beating Patrick Mahomes 1 year ago. Less than 1 freaking year ago. What's the deal? What's the deal about throwing so much shade on this guy? I know there's consideration of that. But honestly, if you guys want to make a big deal, get Matt Ryan. Honestly, I don't get it. I seriously don't get you guys. So it's something that's mind-boggling to me. This is an easy pick here for me. Christian Darsaw to the Chargers, just a wonderful pick. I've been seeing it quite a lot as well. I think I was the first one to ever put Christian Darsaw here, but dude, Christian Darsaw is a great pick. Ever since they got out of this cornerback rotation here, Christian Darsaw, I mean, you need to get rid of Sam Tebby. I know that it was since I think 2013, maybe 2011. Oh, I think it was 2011 when they selected their first round lineman, which is insane. It's a really insane feat that someone sent like that full list of all the linemen they've drafted, and it's been that long. I think Christian Darsaw is worth waiting that long. And you know what, guys? This is going to be a little bit interesting, okay? I have made a 3-way trade happen here. We are having the Vikings rotate to pick 16, and we are having the Cardinals shifting back to, I believe, pick 25, with the Jaguars trading all the way up to pick 14. So I'm gonna show you guys how this works out. So Jaguars trading up with the Vikings first. We're gonna have this trade happen first, just so we don't have to do like multiple different trades. So we are going to be trading the 25th pick along with a 3rd round. And you guys are like, dude, a 3rd rounder to move back that much? Yes, you shall see what happens. They are going to be gaining. This is pretty much a 2nd round pick. Look at this. Look, where's their 3rd round pick? It's literally what? How many picks is that? I'm not really that. I am pretty good at math. 13 picks behind. Like, it's 13 picks ahead of their 3rd round pick. It's essentially a late 2nd. Okay? They're trading a 1st and a late 2nd for a 1st. Deal with it. Okay? We're actually going to be sending back a 5th in one of these 5ths in return, which of course you have so many damn late round picks, you can do that. Okay? So we're going to be doing that. As well, we're going to just do the trade right now so we don't end up with the Cardinals at 16. The Vikings are going to be trading back up with the Cardinals, and they're going to be selecting this 1st round pick as well as 2 4ths. So they're going to gain this 3rd, and yes, 2 4ths technically have more value. They actually really don't. This is pretty much a 2nd round pick. You can't get a 2nd round pick for 2 4ths. It's a 3rd and a 4th for that value. So they're actually getting a really good value for their pick, and they're going to be trading up with the Cardinals, who are going to be looking to get more picks since they don't have like a top end corner for them to select. So now, crazily enough, as much as we need tackle, I know, trust me guys, we need tackle, we need that. Kyle Pitts is on the board. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're jumping the Patriots to get Kyle Pitts. How crazy is that? You know, I thought of it in my mind. I was like, dude, I love this idea. The Jags have a shit ton of draft capital. Their team is young, and this is why you have a lot of draft capital. You have a lot of draft capital to move up and select the best players in the draft. Kyle Pitts, I think he's like probably number 5 or number 4 for me in this draft class. I love this pick. I love it so much. It is so fun. I'm just so happy thinking about it. This next pick is going to be Jalen Waddle. Yeah, I mean, Pats, okay, we missed out on Kyle Pitts. That sucks. We get Jalen Waddle. You know, you still have Aussie there. You still have Dalton Keene there. There's still, like, you have some tight ends there that you can work with. Jalen Waddle is going to be a real threat. You can have him, Jacoby Myers, and, of course, a developing N'Keal Harry. That's a pretty good squad, too. So I wouldn't be too pissed about this. But Jaguars, I mean, this is a pretty good one, huh? That's a pretty good one. I know we got to get some protection for you guys. We will do that. Don't worry. But I'm just saying, it's a pretty good pick. So, Vikings, this is where, so technically we moved back 2 spots, but now we have Kwity Paye. You got to get that edge presence in there. I know, I like to go offensive line for you guys, but it's down to edge or else lineman for me. And Kwity Paye still on the board. You got to go with that edge. I think that's going to be the best option there. And again, one of you guys did alert me that there really isn't that much WAR, which is wins above replacement, which is like positional value for a guard. So we'll be possibly trading back up with the Vikings later on. But that leaves Gregory Rousseau to be going to the Vikings, and God dang it, the Raiders. They're going to the Raiders. So I mean, edges back to back. Gregory Rousseau is going to be much more of a project, and I think Chucky has time because Derek Carr might not be in win now mode, and this team, they have time to develop. You still have a shit ton of young talent there. Damon Arnett, all these other groups. See, I got the name right that time. It's like there's a lot of guys who need to develop on this squad. Henry Ruggs as well. And in a couple years' time, this team could easily be the best in the NFL. Like, they have so much young talent on this squad. You got to just replace some of these guys on the line. I think the fact that Richie Incognito is pretty much going to be dead soon that's a big worrisome thing for next year. I think this team's ready to be making a playoff run if they can use free agency money and patch up that guard spot because they don't have a really good guy there right now. And unfortunately, Dolphins fans, I love getting you guys Jalen Waddle. I love it. That didn't happen, all right? That really didn't happen. So looking at the guys available, there's still JOK here, Zaven Collins here. There's some really good guys here. But you know what? Your slot cornerback role is filled. Your linebacker role, not filled. So I totally get it. But you know what is going to happen? There is a team that needs both a slot corner and a linebacker. Big time. That team is the Cleveland Browns. And Cleveland Browns are ready to win now. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to give up some draft capital and move up with the Dolphins. I can't find them. In order to select JOK. I mean, that's a pretty good one, right? So we're going to be trading a third here, which, of course, it's going to be a later third. Essentially a fourth-round pick. We're going to try to get a seventh back, and, we're going to send that through. If it doesn't work, okay, big deal, right? Seventh-round picks can always amount to something later on, okay? Don't get too mad about it. But, yes, edge is a huge need for you guys. Olivier Vernon probably not going to be there. But you have right here, slot corner, that's a huge need, and linebacker, that's a huge need. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is going to be your guy. He can play off the edge. He can be a slot corner. He played rover over at Notre Dame. I think that he's going to be a great fit. He's going to be fun. He's going to be electric. Zaven Collins could be another pick for you guys if you guys want more of an inside linebacker. But I'm going to be going Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah because he can play everything. And on this squad, I think that's something you can take a shot on. You definitely have as much talent to be able to lift him up if he's not as good as we think he is. But he has a lot of talent, man. I'm telling you right now, this is a perfect spot for him to go. And plus, the linebackers, they aren't that great. Sion Takitaki is probably the best guy there with Mac Wilson. So I think that JOK is going to be able to fit himself a very, very nice role. Unfortunately, Washington, we have a guy in Trey Lance here. That really sucks, doesn't it, huh? That really does suck. Yeah, you guys are going to be taking him. Trey Lance, this is going to be the perfect spot for him. I'm pretty sure, in my mind, I don't think he was here. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he was here. But he is now. Trey Lance definitely should be the guy there. If it's either going to be down to Rule or else it's going to be down to Rivera. The two R's are going to be the only ones who can make Trey Lance work. He is super raw. He needs time to develop. And on a team with a really young and really talented defense, when Trey Lance is at his maturation age, or if he comes in the league and the scheme is good enough for him, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be Super Bowl ready. So I think that Heineke can take 1 year. Heineke looks so good. I love Heineke. But he's 28. You can't really expect him to be any better than he is right now. And obviously, he put up a good fight. But Trey Lance is perfect to sit behind Heineke. Heineke has mobility. He has a great arm. And Trey Lance can learn from that. And that's going to be really good. It's weird to say that Heineke deserves to be a starter. But watching him play, he was really good. Bears, sitting on the board right now, we got to fix up this line first. People are giving you guys wide receivers. It's bullshit. Jalen Mayfield or Samuel Cosmi are the two guys who I'm looking at. I like Samuel Cosmi more. He's more balanced in the run and pass game. Jalen Mayfield's more of a project. He's a little bit more raw, but he is super talented. Uber talented. I would never shy away from him whatsoever. I can totally understand that. But looking at it right now, I don't know why OT is down, tackles a need less than any of these other positions, which is bullshit. I mean, yes, Phillip Rivers is going to be gone. You have Jacob Eason there. Okay, you can get a quarterback there's plenty of guys who are going to be out there in free agency. Not to mention later on, you don't need to pick up a Mac Jones to be able to fill that role. Or you can bring Phillip Rivers back 1 year. That's just an idea. Phillip Rivers almost beat the Bills. It's not a bad idea. Yes, you could go corner here for a Darian Kendrick, but that's a second-round need to me. You are probably going to be losing Anthony Costanzo, who is on contract for 1 more year. However, he was going to retire last year, and then he was just I'll come back. And if you're losing Phillip Rivers, I mean, you're not going to be able to get another tackle there. Liam Eichenberg is going to be the guy. Hasn't let up a sack since 2018. That's kind of a huge deal. He's definitely one of the most talented tackles in the entire draft class, and he's going to fit really well as a left tackle. It's a Notre Dame lineman, for Christ's sakes. I love it. I mean, looking at the Titans now, Joseph Asai is still on the board. That's a really good value. And if we're looking at Azeez Ojulari versus Joseph Asai, both of them have a really good set of pass rush moves. Both of them a little bit more raw, but I think Joseph Asai actually is more pro-ready. They have the exact same size. Actually, Joseph Asai is 5 pounds heavier, 6'3", 240 versus 6'3", 245. Same age as well, redshirt senior versus a junior. Joseph Asai is going to be the guy for me. No pun intended. But or I'm not a rapper. I guess that was what I was supposed to say. But Joseph Asai is going to be the perfect pick here. I think it's just going to be a really solid high-end value there, and you're going to get what you need. Now, Jets, you're sitting here, you're like, well, shoot. Rashad Bateman was the guy who I was probably going to go after. Terrace Marshall Jr. seems a little bit similar to Denzel Mims in my eyes. So, I mean, we could be going Chris Olave here. That'd be a really good, fun option. But looking at it, I think that we need to either focus on linebacker with a Zaven Collins, or corner, or we can look at tackle. Now, Fant is not going to be your future option. However, he is serviceable for a year, especially with a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who has dealt. Well, they're not with Trevor Lawrence. Excuse me on that. Sorry, Jets fans, to hit us a nice little string on your heart. However, for a guy like Zach Wilson, who does have usually a good offensive line, I think he's going to be serviceable enough. I think Eric Stokes is still on the board, and of course, Cardinals fans are like, oh, why? I know it sucks. But Eric Stokes is going to be going right here. We could have probably tried to trade up with the Cards. That could have been a move. But looking at it right now, Cards, there's probably something else that we're going to be looking at. The Steelers, funnily enough, in my mind, I had them going Trey Lance. That's where I think he was supposed to go. And, I mean, Ben throwing 500 yards, he has 4 picks and, 4 touchdowns in his final game. I think he might want to come back and just be like, dude, I cannot lose to the Browns in the first round. So, respectfully enough, as much as I want to give them a quarterback, because Trey Lance would have been a great fit there, can't do that anymore, right? Jalen Mayfield's going to be the pick. This is going to be a high-end pick. It's going to be great. I think the Steelers, this is a perfect pick for the Steelers, too. You know, all 3 of these guys are really talented tackles. This is going to be a good tackle class as well. Maybe not as good as last year's, but these guys are all potentially starters in this league. Jalen Mayfield has the highest upside out of arguably all the tackles in the draft, besides Penei Sewell. So that's going to be a really good fit for the Steelers, who either are going to be in rebuild mode or in win now. So the talent's there. Cards, we all know where we got to go. We either got to go cornerback or edge here. Azeez Ojulari is a fun option here, but if we're going to be honest, we could be looking to trade back again. I think cornerback's the biggest need here, and we could be going Tyson Campbell. We could be looking at him in the second round, though, guys. So keep an eye out for that. Darian Kendrick's not going to fit. I think you need a more aggressive, more bigger cornerback. If we're looking at Asante Samuel Jr., he is a bit smaller, and he could be more of a slot cornerback. He's not going to be, but we're looking at Tyson Campbell here. I can't pull the trigger on Tyson in the first round. We got to go edge, guys. We got to go edge here, and I know, of course, we kind of need a cornerback. We only have 2 on contract next year. But the value is not there. Azeez Ojulari is disgustingly underrated. He could be going to the Vikings over Kwity Paye with his damn talent. So Azeez Ojulari is going to be the pick. Honestly, I think it's a great fit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great fit. I'm not going to complain about it at all. Watch round 2 if you guys want to be getting a corner, because you bet your ass I might even be trading up for a corner. Azeez Ojulari, again, with his size, could be replacing that Hassan Reddick role as well. That's good. I think that might be my comp for him, Hassan Reddick. So keep your eyes out for that. Now, of course, Dolphins, we've accumulated even more picks, and we're getting Zaven Collins. Yes. Get to add him up in there in that interior of that defense. Of course, pairing up with Jerome Baker. That's going to be awesome. Zaven Collins, Jerome Baker, that's going to be a great pairing. The run stuffing is going to be insane. So, Patriots, you guys are going to need to develop your pass game, and that's why you got, of course, Jalen Waddle there. But, the running game is going to be stuffed in that division. And especially with Buffalo in there, you're building to beat Buffalo. And you're kind of getting similar to a Matt Milano type of player right here in Zaven Collins. Next, we got the Buccaneers. Got to keep this a little bit faster because, I don't want to give you guys an 8-hour-long video. I think this one's a pretty simple one. We could look at edge or we could look at interior defensive line. And looking at the guys who are on the board, we could be looking at Jason Away here because he will be testing in the 4-3s, if not 4-2s. So it could be like a Montez Sweat situation. And Jason Away, he had, I believe, a 50 run defense grade. He had like an 89 this year. So he's had a very big jump. And looking at the IDL depth, I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. You know, like, Christian, it's kind of unrealistic for an IDL not to go in the first round. But, I mean, look at this. All of these dudes are really talented. Wait, all of these dudes. I'm going to probably take Levi out of this, but look how many IDLs there are available. I think the depth in this class will push him down. The edge, I mean, you have some good depth, but after this, like, you have some dudes who, like, right after this is where there's a huge drop-off. Right here, huge drop-off. We have, like, a couple tiers. This is where I see a guy like Jason Away or Jalen Phillips going. And if you want to have JPP there to coach up Jason Away how to pass rush better, this is going to be the perfect spot for it. You're going to be taking a high-end player here in Jason Away. I just thought it was kind of a fun idea. And then it's just going to be super talented. Baltimore Ravens, we know that we got to get some extra pass weapons for you guys. Edge rush is a huge issue. Huge issue, especially with you guys probably not re-signing Yannick Ngakoue. But, of course, you don't want to continue taking scraps. Take a guy who is worth a first-round pick. Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. I mean, he's going to be testing like the 4.3s, 4.4s. 6'3". He showed so much talent there. He could be going even higher than this. He's a really talented dude. I need to watch some more tape on him again because he showed out to me this year. And these guys, like the guy who pretty much took over, I think his name Butte, took over where Terrace Marshall was. I mean, he put up way more yards, but looked way worse doing it. And it doesn't matter the stats it just matters how you do it. And Terrace Marshall Jr. looked like a true number one wide receiver. That's why he kind of opted out because he's like, y'all see who I am. So good job by Terrace. He also beat up on Darian Kendrick. That's a fun fact. But now we got the Saints here, and we're going to be looking at linebacker. Definitely looking at linebacker. I'm leaning more towards Dylan Moses. I'm going to be doing a full tape study on Nick Bolton very soon. But Dylan Moses is my guy at the moment. Looking at the cornerbacks, we could be going for an Asante Samuel Jr. to go on the squad, but I don't think that's really the right way to go. If we're looking at it, Dylan Moses is the guy with the highest ceiling left, and after him, there really isn't much. Nick Bolton is a pretty talented dude, but again, doing a tape study on him, he looked really lost in those last games, and I really want to dig into that deeper. Again, I don't really see too much value with the linebacking core. It's not as deep as we think it is. Dylan Moses is going to be the pick. Pair him up with Quan Alexander. That's going to be a lethal linebacker core. Leaving, of course, the Bills with going after a cornerback because I think you guys need it. Either that or we can go interior offensive line with Elijah Vera-Tucker. Or Wyatt Davis. It's really up to this. I think Wyatt Davis being down here is a little bit disgusting. I love Wyatt Davis. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Ohio State fan, all right? So it's down to either getting a cornerback because you guys need one, or we can get a guard, which if we're looking at it, there's a pretty big drop-off after Trey Smith and Landon Dickerson. Deontay Brown's the only other dude I could see going, but there's a pretty big drop-off at guard. So this is something I'm 100% considering. Looking at the tackles, don't see anybody worth the pick, unless you want to go Alex Leatherwood, who can play both. I don't really see it. I think you want more of a big mauler. So it's down to, I mean, if we want to, we could even go like Sean Wade later on or Paulson Adebo because this team has really good safety. So Paulson Adebo's lack of speed will definitely not be tested too heavily in this division. We could even be looking at a guy like Israel Mukuamu who has tight hips. I think that honestly, we're going to be going interior offensive line here. Wyatt Davis, 100% going to be this pick. I think that maybe cornerback would have been a better way to go. But Wyatt Davis, it's the best player available by far. You're getting the number one guard in the class. I think he's better than Elijah Vera-Tucker. But Vera-Tucker can play both tackle and guard. Wyatt Davis is just a stud, man. It's a little bit disrespectful to have him going anywhere but here. G-Men. No, you're not G-Men. You're fucking cheeseheads. Packers, I mean, we're going to be going one of two ways. We're going to be giving you guys a weapon or else we're giving you a cornerback. And Chris Olave is 100% going to be the pick here. He's a deep threat. He's fun. He's a separator. Chris Olave deserves to go even higher than this. I think in the one that I thought in my mind, he was actually going 23. So Chris Olave deserves to be this pick. He is so good. I don't know why people are sleeping on this boy, Chris Olave here. Again, I was thinking maybe going Amon-Ra St. Brown as well, but Chris Olave is just too good. Last time I think I went Amon-Ra St. Brown in my head because of the fact that Chris Olave wasn't there. But Chris Olave, easily the guy with the highest upside of the guys who are left. Amon-Ra St. Brown's really talented too. But, of course, we already know where I'm going with this. Elijah Vera-Tucker's on the board. No way in hell that the Chiefs are not going to be protecting their $500 million man there. So let me know what you guys think. I know you guys are probably like, bro, I thought you said you're going to stop. We're not going to be doing one next week just because, like, what, we're adding, like, 2 more teams or 4 more teams to the equation. It's like we'll wait until after the Super Bowl, all right? But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited for tonight when we get to see the Natty for college. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.